Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I was able to get a tour of the Bolack Mechanical Museum, and it's from Tommy Bolack's collection. He was a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and he collected all sorts of things that I'm going to show you. And this whole front of the building is petrified wood. There's 3 buildings that they can give you a tour of. You have to sign up for an appointment to get a tour. And if you come here without an appointment, you go to the front office and they might be able to get you in sometime during the day. Now, just past the Fish and Wildlife Museum, there's a dirt road that goes a few miles down to this other museum, which is called Bolack's Mechanical Museum. It says here on the door, by appointment only. Or you might call and ask them if they're going to have another group out here that you can join in with. But for now, I'm just going to look at the few things that they have outdoors. They have a whole lot of really old equipment here. All kinds of mechanical equipment, which is pretty much just rusted out. Really specialized equipment. Apparently, over the years, when they retired equipment, they just set it right here. There's a lot of those electrical things, whatever you call them. Now, some of these here actually look new. I wonder if they are. They got stacks and stacks of those electrical devices. Yeah, these definitely look new. I wonder if they made them just sitting here waiting for customers to order them. Look at those big things. And over here, here's a big stack of these clear glass fixtures. And then here is a big stack of green ones. There's a really huge item there. Some old tractors. And here is an airplane that I bet hasn't flown in a mighty long time. It's a pretty large plane. And the name of it is the Chief Tarini, a double prop plane. And then over here is a lot of other stuff. There is, I guess that's a fire truck. N200MX is its number. And right here beside it, this looks like a mail truck with a steering wheel on the right. So this is permanently retired. More big things down here. And look at the scenery. There's a big, very green field here. And this big canyon side. Wow, that's some nice scenery. Now, what's the big scoreboard doing here? And beside the building here, on its own tracks, is a caboose. And this looks like a cargo car, I guess. And then out front is the engine, Southern Pacific 146. And along the building here is a lot more old tractors.
This panel was the Durango panel, their power plant from the early 1900s. And when the power plant went defunct, Tommy got this, brought this over here. And circuit breakers.
So were these used in his business, or are they just?
Oh no, they're just
a collection.
Some of these are from all over the planet. Yes, sir. Just a collection. He had a few real interests. He might be the. He might have the record for the most glass insulators in his house, in all 3 of these buildings.
And what do you call these things?
They're insulators.
Glass insulators?
Early on with the telegraph line and the telephone lines, they'd hang a pole and they'd put one of these on there and the wires would be bare. And diesel powered.
That's a generator?
This is a generator. This is the earliest one from 1900 something. You ever seen those old pictures of like a room full of sewing machines being run from a belt overhead?
Yeah.
That's how this goes. This runs that belt. This is the whole inside of a copper mine control panel.
This was in a copper mine?
This was in a copper mine in Arizona.
I see the name up there.
They can just add more electrical generating capabilities. Tommy wanted to finish this project but didn't get a chance to.
Nothing much left to it.
No. This is a Dodge Brothers 1924. Oh, it's all here. It's just in some pretty sad shape. Parts of it get more than just a little bit random. X-ray machines. Tommy wanted it strung up just like he found it in the office. This came out of Colorado somewhere. I was told Durango, but I'm not sure. Computer room here.
I used to operate some of these big equipment back in 1970.
Yes, sir. From the big magnetic reels to the... Did you ever see, there's a thing...
Ooh, that's a big disc. Yeah, some of these look familiar. I did computer in school back in the 1970 with some of these really big units.
Out of that big power plant out to the west of us.
Simulator control panel.
This is where they taught people how to run that power plant. And random gauges and dials and stuff. This is a radio station with the automated tape system, sort of like 8 tracks, only different. And you can buy those programs and you turn that on and have so many hours of radio. Relay boxes for telephone. Monitors, teletype. He's got a lot of the beta systems in here as the local TV and radio stations upgraded. He'd be able to.
So is this all just retired equipment? That's why he has it? The dynamite blaster?
Yeah. The old school, oak box and nicely handled and all that stuff. He said he had. This is their drive-in movie theater. The speakers are all up high, and those are the 2 projectors. We even have. Tommy, when he bought the property, he bought everything on the property from the snack bar. And it still sounds good. Called a guillotine because it's just so big. This was the Farmington Daily Times that just ended its run, but when they upgraded their presses, Tommy got all of this. That's the original linotype machines. We have last day's front page set. Still, and the desk over there is where all the rest of the junk is stored. Tommy's programming that he played on Sunday was 2 hours of country oldies, and he only played 45s. That's getting to the size where it used to be in the booth in the little diners.
Is that an X-ray machine that you just stand up beside it?
Yeah, like a mammogram. It's a photographic enlarger from the late 1800s. When they upgraded, Tommy got the whole station, the antennas in the yard out back. That's one of the tubes. And that's what they look like when they're plugged in.
A radio tube?
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Tom just liked to collect seashells, old glass bottles, medical and dental equipment, some of the insulators, elements, rocks of various kinds. And these two are obvious, the Native American relics.
So this is in the second building now. And what is this big column?
Those are computer motherboards.
Wow.
We have the leaning tower of motherboards, and back over here, that's our wallpaper in this building.
Man, where would he get all these?
Donations, mostly. Anything that's an upgrade, anything that was going to be recycled or went to the dump, went through Tommy's hands first. And he would clip out pretty bits that he wanted to save. Yes. And then more mystery oscilloscopes of various times.
A horn collection.
Horn collection. Antlers. Some of these were taken from the ranch. Not sure if they all were. Refrigerator, washer. The old kind used to sit on your porch. And then scales, from the normal beam scales to the thousandth of a gram type of laboratory scales. You had to have it sealed because just walking past it would disturb it. The generator, again, in all shapes and sizes. TV sets, we have one from 1952. Westinghouse.
So look at the Weston G House.
Yeah, we're good.
Collection of 8 tracks.
8 tracks, and of course, Odysseys, and the games, and
bunch of old Atari games.
Yep. I've heard that some of these are valuable again. Who knows?
Yeah, for collectors.
People who collect them and still want to play them. One of the old Cyclops style TVs. An example of old school versus the newer stuff, from the tubes to the strange bits you can't understand. This one happens to be water cooled, so this is high voltage. Stuff all came out of a compressor station, natural gas. The old Sun analyzer.
Sun analyzer?
Engine analyzer. Before there were computers in our cars, the mechanics had these monsters. This is a wire loop recorder. This is the old secret spy stuff.
Huh.
And it.
Wow, all that is from lightning?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And just enough less humidity and it would have caught fire. And just enough.
Crankshaft, wow.
Big 4-cylinder something or other. And then these are all battery cases. Before we've got the modern plastic shells, had to use glass to hold your acid. Couldn't really put that in a flashlight, could we?
Yeah.
Oldest and earliest.
Oh, these are old electric meters right here?
Yes.
The really, really old style.
Edison kind of came up with it.
What are all these?
All copper, all wire. This is a concentrator coil, is what I've been told to call it. And you find these on the back of the old TV tubes, the great big tubes. And it just helps focus the picture. But that's copper wire.
Yeah.
And molded into these shapes and then lacquered. Every little nut and bolt. Well, we still have to, we got to figure out what in the world we're going to do with all
this. The whole thing is filled with nuts and bolts.
Completely filled. And this is the lead melting furnace. So you're working next to a hot furnace, dripping a lead bar down through it to melt it, and then that runs off. And
yeah, I had an aunt who worked for the Houston Post newspaper.
Okay.
Typing in everything that went into the paper.
Cassette players, 8 tracks, CDs, microwave ovens. And when he wasn't busy with running the place, this is where you'd find him. Computer, and then more electrical meters.
These are steam gauges?
The big jobs are, yes. Except for the outboard motors, of course. And some of the other stuff, but this is an early EKG machine. And then we have another x-ray machine, we have an operating table, we have an ophthalmologist office, a dentist.
So how many years did he spend collecting all this?
His entire life, 70 plus. When he was a little kid, he started on the little glass insulators, a walking beam engine.
What was that used for?
Just to start generating either electricity or propulsion for the belts. Decided no more slot machines. He got all the slot machines. Middle school tour group come in and they stopped right here. There's our 1952 push button TV. And the little kid looks at one of these and goes, "What are these?" I says, "Oh, starting to feel kind of old." I says, "That's IBM Selectrics and the other electric typewriters, but these are all manuals."
Yeah, that's what I used learning typing in high school. That started my CPA career.
Clickety clack.
Was learning how to type.
Yeah. Series of paragraphs. Somebody in the room would make it sound, it would sound like the 1812 Overture or something like that. Fuses in the back.
Those things on the wall there?
Fuses.
Those are fuses. Wow,
You
those
can
are really
still
big.
see those on electrical poles.
All sorts of various testing equipment.
All sorts of oscopes and just...
There's another auto diagnostic
Yep.
machine.
Ford specific, it's still made by Son. And then there were, these are the rejects, the rusters,
These are all steel pennies?
all of them are the steel pennies.
Wow. It's one of the first ATM machines they came out with.
Sat for so long that it burned the stuff into the back of the screen.
Well, I've never seen a 16 2/3 actual record.
Okay.
I've had record players that had that speed,
And wondered why.
but finding
It's the
one with that speed is...
earliest form of music.
So probably most of the things in here, you don't even know for sure what they are, huh?
Yep.
Oh, against that wall, that looks interesting.
Or,
Yeah, that's one way to cover a wall.
yeah.
I bet you don't see that anywhere else.
Oh, I bet you're probably right about that one.
Wow, it goes way over there. Well, I think this is pretty amazing. Seems like he would have to spend most of his time just hunting out this stuff.
He actually paid people to hunt stuff. He'd
Oh,
give
really?
them parameters. And they'd bring him a list of stuff they found and he'd select from it.
Fireworks chips. Do they still look like this?
Well, he's got them out of fiberglass now because those are heavy.
Are these the plastic insulators?
So they're all just this ugly gray color. And some of them are quite soft. So they're floppy. Now, every cardboard box, all the way to this wall to wall, and all up in between. This is roughly 600,000 or 700,000 45s. Wells Fargo Stagecoach. M18 tank destroyer from World War II in marvelous shape. And a T-38 fighter jet trainer. The front of a C-97. Well, some of these are from Europe, all over the world. And some of them are obviously for show. Guess the milks had to have something to do.
I've been in buildings where they had these
Hiss, click,
heaters.
pop.
I think they heated by running hot water through it, didn't they?
Yeah. And it worked.
Oh Oh yeah,
nice
you get up close to one and it'll...
Nice gentle. Nice case steam tractor. It was running when we got it in here.
And you got a black Cadillac.
Black Cadillac. This is...
From what year?
52. This is Tom... No, not 52. 60 or 61. Dual 4 barrels. Oh, it's still oil bath, so somebody did that original. Ever designed specifically for Elvis Presley. He always liked these three-wheeled things. This is the last one he actually drove, but he has one from that model year, each of the different sizes of three-wheeler. Smoke machine, fog machine, for a bigger production. Pair of Model A's. Presbyterian Church upgraded their pipe organ. So the Model A's, the one on the left is fully restored, fresh leather, all new.
So this one's fully restored.
Ready to go, keys are in it.
Just a little dusty.
Yep.
And all these signs are from various...
All over the world.
Industries.
Yes. Oil well designators, oil and gas, steam engine, locomotive.
And the one out front, that's a steam too, right?
That's a steamer. This is, it move itself. The horses actually had to haul this thing out into the field, and then you turn it on and use a belt to run your machinery.
Conestoga wagon. Without the tarp.
Tractor. Rubber tires didn't show up until the late 30s. Civil War cannon with all the goodies. This one is real carriage, real barrel, but this is a naval gun and it's probably never been fired.
Never been fired.
So it's just was stuck together.
Where are these from?
Oh, there's no telling.
Bars, probably.
Bars, yeah. Bowling alley.
Electric lawnmower. Wow.
With a reel for your cable. Not sure why he's keeping those.
Firework boxes.
Yeah.
Green possum with sweet potatoes, garnish and coon's fat gravy. I never tried that.
That's what's for lunch.
So these boxes are all full of 45 records?
Every last one of them.
Wow.
If they have a letter on them, they've been sorted alphabetically.
Well, this has been super interesting.
Not something you quite expected to find in the middle of no place.
Yeah, this is all really kind of a big surprise to me. Excellent museum.
Oh, good.
Good day, folks.